I told you that purpose is not a destination, but it is a confluence. It is something that you don't have to have just one in life. Always been told that purpose is a destination and that once we find it, everything else will align. But what if it is the journey itself and it is not a point on a map? And I'm an entrepreneur and a community builder. But my purpose was not always the same that it started off with and as it is today. I started the conventional route. I did my engineering. I also joined a job in IT. I even moved abroad for a stable life. I earned well. I worked really hard. I got a lot of promotions and appreciations. But that was not something that I was looking for. There was an inner voice that kept asking me, what if this is your purpose? Or what if not your purpose? So that is when I started looking out. And about 12 years ago, I started my first solo travel journey. I was really scared. I was very nervous. I went on this trip without having a perfect plan or even knowing what to expect. I met a lot of new people, and coming from a typical Indian background, I was overly protected. So it was completely new to me. But when I came back from that travel journey, I realized that something had changed in me. It had ignited a curiosity with the world and also about myself. And that's when I realized that every journey starts with a very simple step. And that is what exactly I had done. Then I started exploring more. I went to more than 55 countries and even traveled to Antarctica. And then came a new passion, which was trekking. So I went on my first trek that changed my life. It opened up new doors for me. I went on multiple treks, which included Everest Base Camp and also North Africa's tallest mountain, Mount Toubkal. I started becoming stronger, both physically and mentally. And that's when I realized that I don't have to be cocooned in one place. There could be more passions. So I started exploring more. And then came a new passion, which was scuba diving, which opened up the world beneath the surface. I became a rescue diver certified from a first timer who was extremely nervous to go into the ocean. And I started advocating for the ocean and its residents. I started loving marine life more, that even today I actually advocate for the first timers and I take them on their first scuba diving experience. That is what I started doing. None of these things were part of the journey, but everything taught me something new. Travel taught me openness and to explore. Trekking taught me to become confident and disciplined. And scuba diving taught me to trust something which was unknown. That's when I started wondering, is this my purpose? Is it being adventurous? Is it being an entrepreneur? Is it exploring the world? What was it? Honestly, I was unsure myself. Then one day, something clicked. I read about River Ganga. River Ganga does not start at a single point. She does not flow in a straight line. She gathers from all the tributaries. She is born out of all the smaller rivers. She becomes whole at a point called as Sangam, which is the confluence. That is when she becomes fierce, and that is when she becomes far bigger than what she is today. And that made me realize that purpose is not a destination. It is the confluence itself. Similarly, like River Ganga, we are all born out of tributaries. We are made up of different things like our passions, skills, roles, culture, our failures, our comebacks. There are many things that actually make us what we are today. And that is where we come in. This is the reality of many people, not just about me or not just about you. According to the 2023 McKinsey report, which was published, it shows that more than 50% of US professionals were facing occupational shifts after pandemic. And according to the 2024 LinkedIn report and the research done by Census Wide, it shows that more than 79% of Indian professionals were looking to change their careers, either looking beyond their industries or roles. So, what I mean to say is, this is not because they were having failures. They had just evolved. Their passions were added more to what they had chosen as a path. And that is exactly what happened. They had outgrown the version of themselves. And that is where they were looking beyond what they were doing currently. I have a friend who worked in the IT industry for more than 10 years. And what he did was, he was always interested in organic farming. So one day, he just decided to leave the job and move to a countryside to open up an organic farm. And today, he grows his own vegetables, he grows his own fruits to actually promote sustainable living. And because of all these passions that came to him, there was a calling for him. And that is what got him home. And even my journey, if you look at, I started as an engineer, studied engineering and computer science, then got into corporate roles. And later on came solo travel, and then trekking, and then scuba diving. And these were all different passions, or these were all different branches that were added to me in my own path. And I started becoming whole because of all these different passions that were added to me. Yeah. So what I would like to tell each one of you who is here, who is looking for a different path, or even have the pressure of trying to find your own calling, you are allowed to change. You are allowed to outgrow your goals. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to have more than one calling. There is always a backup. So please do not feel that pressure of having just one conventional route, which has been having. And each one of these experiences will help you become who you are. You might start at one place. But not necessarily that you have to stick over there. The most meaningful lives today are not because they were built on one single plan. They were built because they were open to change. They had learned to adapt. They had become honest to whatever they were finding. And that is the reason why those meaningful lives were created. Your purpose is not something that you actually find once and you stick to it forever. You are a combination of many things. Your courage, your curiosity, your culture, all these things form together, and that is what you become. Your purpose is definitely not a title. It is a flow. So just like river Ganga, you will flow and you will learn how to have your own journey along the way. I have solo traveled, I have trekked across more than 100 hikes and treks, and I have scuba dived in more than 16 countries, and I'm close to 100 dives. So with all these things, that is what I have learned, that you don't have to stick to one plan. Just go explore the world and just enjoy the journey itself. Go meet your Sangam, the confluence, and go find your destination, your goal, and also blissfulness.